Brian Christian, Algorithms to Live By, The Computer Science of Human Decisions. Dive into the fascinating world of algorithms with Algorithms to Live By, The Computer Science of Human Decisions by Brian Christian. This book explores how algorithms, which are a finite series of steps to help solve a problem, can not only help computers but also guide our everyday decision-making. From optimal stopping algorithms to organizing files and time management, understanding these strategies can positively impact your life. The book provides an instructive and engaging exploration of various methods, and how they can help you navigate complex situations efficiently, as well as making predictions and tackling real-world problems.
Unraveling algorithm mysteries. Algorithm, a term dating back to the 9th century, refers to a finite series of steps that help solve a problem. While algorithms are widely associated with computers in today's technology-driven world, humans have been using intuitive algorithms to make decisions for thousands of years. Despite the differences in precision, human intuitive algorithms and computer-based mathematical algorithms function to achieve the same solutions, making them similar in their essence. The concept of an algorithm goes beyond its familiar role in modern technology. Its origin can be traced back to Persian mathematician Muhammad al-Khwarizmi in the 9th century. However, the use of algorithms as problem-solving techniques has been around for even longer, about 4,000 years, stemming from the Sumerian civilization. In simple terms, an algorithm is a series of finite steps designed to solve a problem. People use such techniques all the time, often without realizing it. For example, a recipe is essentially an algorithm as it involves following a series of instructions to achieve the desired outcome, a mouth-watering dish. Similarly, patterns used to knit a scarf or assemble furniture are also algorithms in action. Human decision-making processes often employ intuitive algorithms, like when we analyze lists of pros and cons before making a significant choice or considering the balance between potential benefits and risks. Although these intuitive algorithms may seem subjective, they share essential similarities with the mathematical algorithms used in computer problem solving. Consider the process of apartment hunting, where people typically have a set of criteria such as minimum living space, proximity to work or school, and budget. When these conditions are met, they move ahead and sign the lease. This method is fundamentally akin to how computer algorithms operate. As we delve further into algorithms and their applications, we will discover how these problem-solving techniques can also work for you. Optimal stopping simplified. Optimal stopping is an algorithm that provides the best chances of making a good choice when faced with multiple options, such as apartment hunting. By examining and discarding the first 37% of options to establish certain criteria, you can then choose the first option that fits those criteria, drastically improving your odds compared to a random guess. However, this algorithm's reliance on mathematical odds means it isn't applicable in every situation, especially when the risk of losing everything is involved. Apartment hunting in a competitive market can be incredibly challenging. It's often hard to decide when to accept an offer and stop searching. Our judgment can be clouded by the first or second option, making it difficult to determine the right choice. This is where the optimal stopping algorithm comes in handy. Imagine you have 100 options to consider. This mathematical model suggests examining the first 37, roughly 37%, without making a decision. Instead, during this stage, establish certain standards or preferences, such as avoiding ground floor apartments with small bathrooms. Once you've looked at the first 37 choices, the algorithm advises selecting the next option that meets your established criteria. While this approach doesn't guarantee the absolute best choice, it significantly increases the odds in your favor. Interestingly, this 37% rule can also apply to other situations such as choosing a car, job, or romantic partner. However, pure mathematics doesn't always provide the most accurate guidance. Consider a coin flip where you use a triple or nothing betting strategy, meaning you triple your bet with each flip but risk losing everything you've won so far. Despite the odds and averages recommending continuous betting, the risk of losing everything becomes a crucial factor that pure mathematics fails to consider, proving that the optimal stopping algorithm isn't a perfect solution in every circumstance. Mastering decision-making dilemmas. Life is full of decision-making dilemmas, such as deciding on a slot machine, partner, or investment. Mathematics offers insights through multi-armed bandit problems, which help identify winning strategies. One solution includes the stay-win, lose-shift approach, but the upper confidence bound (UCB) algorithm is superior, as it factors in occasional losses without switching options too quickly. Adaptive clinical trials in medicine demonstrate how continuous evaluation and staying alert to new information can lead to better decision-making. In our daily lives, we often face situations where we must decide how long to stick with a losing option before moving on. For instance, whether to change slot machines at a casino, choose a new romantic partner, or switch investment plans. These dilemmas can be better tackled by learning from multi-armed bandit problems in mathematics, which offer a range of solutions. The stay-win, lose-shift strategy suggests staying on an option as long as it's successful and switching when it fails. It might seem simple, but this approach can be misleading. One-time losses could cloud our judgment, as they may not accurately predict future outcomes. The upper confidence bound (UCB) algorithm offers a smarter alternative. Start by picking an option with the highest expected value. In a slot machine scenario, choose the one with the largest jackpot. As you progress, monitor the outcomes and assess if they are getting better or worse than anticipated. Stick with the option until it consistently underperforms, then move to the next best alternative. By acknowledging that even good choices might incur occasional losses, the UCB algorithm enhances your chances of success. Pharmaceutical trials show the power of adaptability. In adaptive clinical trials, doctors continuously evaluate test subjects and adjust their plans throughout the experimentation. If a drug isn't as effective as expected, they quickly cease it and focus on more promising options. This willingness to exploit new information, even before final results are available, can provide valuable insights into making well-informed decisions across various aspects of life. Embrace organized chaos. It's okay to cherish some level of organized chaos in your workspace. Not everything has to be perfectly neat all the time. If you still feel that your cluttered space is affecting your efficiency, there are different strategies for organizing, including bubble sort, insertion sort, and merge sort. Bubble sort method involves sorting one pair at a time until your items are organized. Insertion sort is when you remove all items and reposition them one by one in the desired order. Merge sort is about dividing items into separate groups, organizing each, and then merging all into one ordered cluster. Choose whichever method works best for your specific situation and enjoy your newly ordered space. Mastering desk organization. To manage the important documents and notes on your desk, consider the computer's approach to data storage. Utilize the least recently used algorithm by keeping your most urgent tasks physically on top. This mirrors the natural workings of your memory, as well. To optimize cognitive recall, review key information right before bed, making it readily accessible the next day. Organizing the desk may seem like a daunting task, but nature offers inspiration through the workings of computing systems. Computers store data in hard disk drives or solid-state drives, with the most important and frequently used data residing in the cache, the ultimate layer for expedited access. The least recently used, LRU, algorithm is employed by computers to determine what data to store in the cache. It involves prioritizing the items used last, keeping them at the top. This non-complex method allows computers to anticipate which files you'll need in the future. Interestingly, the LRU algorithm also proves effective in the analog world for bills, vital letters, and other items requiring swift attention. The organized chaos on your desk may be working in your favor, with the recently utilized items and top priority tasks already in front and center. Restyling desk organization, in theory, will help improve overall productivity. The human brain operates similarly to the LRU algorithm, and used information becomes increasingly difficult to recall over time. In order to take full advantage of this concept, it's crucial to review essential data close to the time of need. For instance, read your notes or reference materials just before going to bed if you have an important exam or meeting the next day. The information will be more easily retrievable in the morning, allowing you to perform at your best. Mastering time management. To increase productivity and accomplish more, it's vital to organize your time effectively. Begin by prioritizing tasks based on their deadlines using the earliest due date algorithm. If pressed for time, implement Moore's algorithm and skip tasks with the longest duration to complete more overall tasks. However, beware of priority inversion where minor tasks consume your energy, leaving crucial tasks undone. Although there is no perfect solution to every scheduling problem, one key strategy is to concentrate on a single task at a time, ignoring distractions. By doing so, you can improve productivity and gradually complete your to-do list. Predicting the future with algorithms. Imagine having the ability to predict future events. Thanks to algorithms and the revolutionary work of Reverend Thomas Bayes in the 18th century, we've come a long way in forecasting probable outcomes. Bayes' method involves hypothesizing the prevalence of winners among lottery tickets, and using that to calculate the probability of certain results. Over time, mathematics has evolved to provide us with more precise tools, such as distribution patterns, to aid our predictions. The bell curve, or normal distribution, can be applied to a variety of phenomena, while the power law distribution is best suited for cases like wealth distribution. With these methods and understanding, we can make better educated guesses about what lies ahead. The desire to predict the future has captivated human minds for centuries, and algorithms have brought that dream closer to reality. Reverend Thomas Bayes, in the 18th century, laid the groundwork with his method for predicting the likelihood of future events based on prior ones. For instance, using Bayes' logic to predict winning lottery scratch tickets requires a hypothesis about the prevalence of winners in circulation and calculating the probability based on actual results. As our understanding of math has evolved, so too have our forecasting tools. One significant improvement has come through understanding distribution patterns. The bell curve, for example, represents a normal distribution that applies to many phenomena. If you were predicting the average age of a random group of people, you could assume that few are extremely young or old, with most falling in the middle of the curve. This knowledge would reassure you that a blind date would likely not be with someone significantly older. On the other hand, there's the power law distribution, which differs from the bell curve. In this scenario, the median average comes from most observations falling below it and only a few exceptional ones above. Wealth distribution embodies this concept, with a large population experiencing poverty and only a handful of people owning a majority of the world's wealth. With these advancements in mathematics and an understanding of distribution patterns, we continue to refine our ability to make educated predictions, inching closer to the intriguing prospect of seeing into the future. Mastering communication techniques. Imagine two generals strategizing a simultaneous attack, separated by a valley that hinders communication. In order to succeed, they must find ways to securely exchange messages despite the risk. Computer scientists have studied this challenge and come up with several algorithms for managing communication. These algorithms can help overcome obstacles, facilitate smoother communication, and improve the overall effectiveness of interactions. A classic scenario features two generals who need to coordinate an attack but face difficulty communicating. They must agree on a precise time, yet their messengers risk capture crossing the valley. Computer scientists have explored this problem in developing effective algorithms for secure communication. One algorithm, known as retransmitted till breakdown, involves sending multiple messengers in the hope that at least one safely delivers the message. This is similar to repeatedly texting or calling a friend until they respond. Another algorithm, called exponential backoff, helps manage overloaded servers. If a server cannot be accessed, users should wait a couple of minutes and then try again. In case the error persists, double the waiting time and continue this pattern until successful. If everyone were to follow this process, server issues would be resolved more quickly. However, the optimal strategy is to avoid overload in the first place. Additive increase, multiplicative decrease, AMD, is an algorithm that does just that. AMD calculates the maximum data a network can handle before reaching capacity. By gradually increasing the amount of transmitted data and extensively tracking the limit, this algorithm ensures smoother and more efficient communication. These algorithms, when applied to various real-life situations, can enhance problem-solving, improve communication, and ultimately contribute to the overall efficiency of our daily interactions. Mastering game theory. The prisoner's dilemma is a classic representation of game theory, illustrating how rational individuals react in strategic situations. In this scenario, two bank robbers face different outcomes depending on whether they keep quiet or betray each other. More often than not, they choose to turn on one another, resulting in a 5-year sentence for both. Game theory also branches into mechanism design, which aims to encourage desirable behaviors. For instance, to address the issue of employees not taking vacation time, a simple solution is to make vacations mandatory. This underscores the point that algorithms can be applied to various fields to understand and influence human decision-making. Diving into the world of game theory, consider the renowned prisoner's dilemma. Two bank robbers are caught and interrogated separately. If both stay silent, they receive a 1-year sentence on a lesser charge. However, if one testifies against the other and the other remains quiet, the betrayer walks free while the other spends 10 years in jail. Should they both betray, each gets a 5-year sentence. Rationally, they choose to betray for the chance of freedom and to avoid the full 10-year term. An intriguing branch of game theory, mechanism design, takes the concept a step further. Instead of expecting certain reactions from given options, it aims to steer people toward desired behavior. Take, for example, the issue of employees not utilizing vacation time. Employers know that well-rested workers perform better, but finding ways to encourage them to take time off can be challenging. The solution, as proposed by mechanism design, is straightforward: make vacations mandatory. This example showcases the versatility of algorithms in understanding and influencing human behavior. By exploring game theory and mechanism design, we can better deduce how rational individuals make decisions and employ strategies to encourage desirable outcomes. Balancing simplicity and complexity. When modeling complex problems, finding the right balance of simplicity and complexity is crucial. Complex models often provide more accurate predictions by accounting for multiple factors, but they can also suffer from overfitting when adapted to sample data too rigorously. To avoid this, it is important to embrace good enough solutions instead of always pursuing perfection. By understanding the limitations and possibilities of algorithms, they can be effectively applied in various areas of life. In tackling complicated problems, it's essential to strike a balance between simple and complex models. Complex models typically offer a more comprehensive understanding of an issue by considering numerous factors. For instance, when examining the causes of obesity, a complex model would not only consider poor diet, genetics, and lack of exercise, but also other potential contributors. However, it's vital to recognize the pitfalls of overly complex models. When working with real-world problems, uncertainty and errors in data are inevitable. This uncertainty can lead to a tendency to add more variables to an algorithm, hoping to account for every detail, including errors. This phenomenon, known as overfitting, leaves a model so rigidly adapted to the sample data that it loses flexibility and becomes less effective with new data sets. For example, in studying obesity, you might find that certain areas of a country have higher obesity rates. Handicapping the significance of a person's location may reduce the model's predictive power when applied to situations where geography doesn't matter. Recognizing that perfect algorithms don't exist encourages a healthy compromise, aiming for good enough solutions instead of perfect ones. Take the traveling salesman problem, which seeks the most efficient route between multiple points, without revisiting the same location. When expanded to a large scale, this problem becomes incredibly complex. By allowing the salesman to visit some locations twice, you can reach a nearly optimal solution in a reasonable timeframe, rather than striving for the unattainable perfect solution. Ultimately, embracing the strengths and limitations of algorithms paves the way to apply them effectively in various aspects of life.
In conclusion, Algorithms to Live By brings a unique perspective on how computer science principles can improve our daily lives. From optimal stopping, to scheduling time management, and even to Bayesian predictions, algorithms hold keys to better decision-making. Though no algorithm is perfect, they can still help us approach complex problems in diverse areas such as scheduling, relationships, and organizing work. By understanding the limits and possibilities of these algorithms, you will be better equipped to make more informed choices and cope with uncertainty in your life. Overall, this book offers valuable insights into how algorithms can not only guide computers but also teach us valuable lessons on navigating the challenges of everyday life.